Hello, it's Jeanette with Geomazing Paper Crafts. Thank you so much for joining me today. I'm back with another video tutorial, and today I'm going to show you how I made this little insert. I don't know if you can see it through my decorations, but I made a little insert so that it could hold one of these Dove Chocolate Truffles. They're so pretty and cute. See? And they come in the red and the blue. I think those are the only colors they come in. But I made a little insert, and it's kind of similar to the insert that I made in my last video. But I sized it to fit these little tiny, clear tiny treat boxes by Stampin'Up. So let's just take one of these out now and put it together. Okay. And we're going to go ahead and do the insert, but we're going to use some different color designer series paper because I wanted to do the blue one. Okay. Now the designer series paper I used on here is from the Christmas Time Is Here suite, and I'll put a link to that whole suite because I even used those little die cuts, or the dies, to make these little stickers on the side. And of course you can decorate it any way you want to. I have a little bow here. That also is in that suite of products, that Christmas Time Is Here suite of products. Okay, so this is the clear, the tiny treat boxes, and you have this little film over them, and that is to keep them from scratching one another. And all you do is just kind of reinforce all of the score lines. It's not hard to do. Just I like to kind of fold them back and forth. Okay, and when you do that, what you're going to do is you're going to put this one first, okay, and then you're going to take these little lips here. I don't know if you can see them. You're going to tuck them under right here, and then you're going to take this one and just tuck that whole thing under, and now the box is together. And I'm just going to fold these down here. Fold all that down. Go back and forth with this one too. Okay. And now my box is put together, and now I'm going to start with the insert. Now, all you need is a piece of designer series paper, and I would recommend just the regular designer series paper, nothing really thick. And this paper is from the Silhouette. Wait, I'll find it here. It's from the Sia Silhouette Designer Series paper stack. So I picked this color because it kind of goes with the blue. Okay, and now I'm going to bring out my Simply Scored scoring tool. Okay, I want to make sure I'm in screen this time. And I'm going to just put it. Now this measures 3 7/8 inch square. Okay, 3 7/8 inch square. And what you're going to do is you are going to score this with the big ball. Score it every 1/4 inch until you get to the 1 inch. So that's a 1/4 inch, a 1/2 inch, 3/4 inch, and 1 inch. And then you're going to turn it and do the same. A 1/4 inch. Let me do that again. 1/4 inch, 1/2 inch, 3/4 inch. Let's make sure it stays right here. Yeah, 3/4 inch, and then the 1 inch. Okay. And now once you do that, then you're going to take, just choose whatever side you want, and you're going to score it at the 1 1/4 inch, but only to the second score line. And then you're going to come back and score this at the 2 5/8 inch line, 2 5/8 inch mark, and only to the second score line. And then you're going to turn it 180 degrees and do the same. 1 1/4 to the second score line, 2 5/8 just to the second score line. Okay, and that's all the scoring we need to do. And now I'm going to just fold and burnish all of my score lines. I'm going to use my bone folder, I think. Okay. Okay, once you got all of your score lines all burnished, then just take your paper snips and you're going to cut off all of the corners that have all of this all of these this little grid here. You're going to cut that off. Make sure you cut off that score line too. I don't know if you can probably see it better on this side here. I'm cutting off the score line, and I'm just cutting off all of the corners. And then you're going to be left with this. And now those two little score lines that you made that went down to the second score line here, you're going to go ahead and cut those two score lines off all the way to that second score line, and then you're going to angle right here to cut that off like that. And you're going to do that on all four sides, 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, and I can see the score line a little bit better on this side of the paper. I think I cut a little bit too much, but that's okay. It'll work out just fine. Cut to that score line and then angle cut here. I'm cutting to that second score line, and I'm angle cutting to the next score line like that. So this is what you're going to end up with. Let's get rid of all of this trash. Okay. And now what I'm going to do is I am going to put some tear and tape. I'm going to bring out my silicone craft sheet. I'm going to put some tear and tape on these longer folds right here. Not the short ones. I'm going to just do the long ones on both sides here. And let me get out my tear and tape. And let me see if I can find my little block that I used to tear. And I'm just going to put tear and tape just right inside that score line on the top here. Bring my block over so I can tear it like that. Of course, if you're good at tearing this, you don't need a little block like that. But I just find it handy to just kind of tear it, because I always end up ripping my paper when I do that. And so I'm going to take off, use my take your pick tool, and I'm going to take off that backer paper for the adhesive like that. And if it goes over, and it will, because it's a little bit thicker or wider than that little strip, it's okay. Now I'm going to take it off of here too, on both sides. And we're just folding that over so that there's no tape on the edge. Okay, and so the next thing you're going to do is you're going to fold it to where there is a score line in between here, in between the edge and here, and then you're going to fold it again and now it's going to pop up like that. Okay, and you're going to do the same on the other side. Fold on that second score line and then fold it over again, and now it pops up like that. And now with this one, I'm going to do a dry fit just to make sure I don't need to trim anything. I probably need to trim just a little bit. Let me see, because it's going to go together the same way. And I probably just need to trim just a tiny little bit off of this edge here. That's why I like to do that little dry fit first. Okay. And I think I'm just going to go ahead and trim just a tiny little bit off of this edge here too. Okay. Now we're going to use some liquid glue And the reason I like it to use the liquid glue is because it gives me a little bit more hang time to position it, to make sure that my miters are straight. And I'm putting a little bit of glue right on the corners right here, and then I'm going to put some Tombow mono adhesive liquid multi-purpose glue right on that flap right there. Okay, and now I'm going to fold it, and kind of fold it the same way. Pick it up and make sure that you have got your miters nice and straight. Okay, here we go. You can hold it there just for a second or two, just to let the glue get a hold. Okay, I kind of like to make sure that my miters are straight. Okay, and we'll do the same with the other side here. I'm going to put a little dab of glue right here on the corner. Come on. And a little dab of glue right here on this flap here. And we are going to fold it. Of course, I always get glue all over me, but that's okay. I don't mind, as long as I have my baby wipes to wipe my hands. And now, here we go. Now we've got our cute little insert that is going to fit perfectly in that box. But I want to give you a little tip. When you're handling those little boxes, make sure your hands don't have any glue on them, because you can leave glue residue that just is so stubborn and will not come off of these little tiny boxes here. Okay, so I'm going to get a baby wipe and wipe my fingers before I put this little insert in the box. But I'm going to do also a little dry fit here, make sure that it's going to fit. Oh, yeah, and it does fit. Okay, there it goes. Okay, now I'm making sure my fingers are dry and there's no, I'm not going to leave any fingerprints on this box. It fits right in. Okay, before I put my little Dove chocolate in here, the truffle, I'm going to just take a little piece of this gold cord. This is from my stash. I keep a lot of gold cord because I use a lot of gold in my paper crafting. But I'm going to tie it this way, and then I'm going to tie it again to kind of make a cute little ribbon. I mean, a cute little bow, not a ribbon. A cute little bow. Okay. You know me and bows. I'm not the best at them, but I try. Okay, so we're just going to cut this off with our paper snips. Now we're going to put this right in the center here. Now, I like to put the main decoration on the back of the box. Some people think that this is the front of the box, and that's okay. I like this to be the front of the box, because when I fold over, there's nothing, there's no little notch there, and you can kind of see your decoration here. Now, that looks pretty on its own. But what I'm going to do is I'm going to just take some of the dies, a couple of the dies from the rose dies. That's this, the rose dies. Is that what that's called? Yep, the rose dies. And I'm going to take this one here, and I'm going to take a couple of these, and we're going to just make the decorations like I have it on this box. Okay. Now, Stampin' Up! Used to sell, they don't anymore, but they used to sell this multi-purpose adhesive sheets, and they were made by Sizzix. But if you don't have any of those, I'm just going to show you how I do it whenever I run out of those. What I do is I take some of these leftovers from are cling stamps. You know, when you put the label on it, you're left with this sheet. And some people use this to help out with their other stamps that don't have the stickiness on them. But what I use this for, because it has this little shiny edge and nothing sticks to it, or that it doesn't stick to it very long, I use it as my backer paper. So what I'm going to do here is I'm going to take a piece of the gold foil cardstock, and I'm going to put some snail adhesive on the back here. Oh, you know what I'll do? I'll show you this trick first. These are, of course, the mini glue dots. And, you know, once you start using them up, you always kind of rip that off. Well, this is the same kind of paper as this paper here. It'll be a non-stick paper for you. So I'm going to just rip a little piece off right here that doesn't have any glue dots on it. And once I've got my adhesive on this sheet here, I'm just going to go ahead and place that here. And it's just going to be a temporary adhesive just until I do the die cutting. And so I'm going to take my die, and I know it looks like it doesn't fit, and that's going to be okay. I'm going to take this to the die cutting machine, and I'm also going to have a couple of shims just to make sure that this will cut perfectly. Now, I went back and forth a couple of times just to make sure that it cuts. Oh, stuck to the top part of my, sometimes it'll stick to the top part. That's okay. And I am going to, now you can use your little spongy thing here and just, you know, roll your die brush. That's one of the attachments that you can buy along with your take your pick tool. And I am just taking all of the insides off of here, and I'm going to poke out the die, the die cut, and I'm going to take off, make sure that everything is removed. I'm going to take off that backer paper. See? Look how easy that is. Now this is a sticker. And so what I'm going to do is I'm going to place this in the front. Now you can fold it over on the sides there, but what I'm going to do is I'm just going to cut that off right here and right here. And I can do that again and put it all the way around. And now with this one here, what I want to do is I want to take a little piece of gold paper, the gold foil here, and I'm just going to do a little rough cut here on the gold foil. Okay, like that. Then I'm going to turn that over and put some snail adhesive on here. Couple of layers will do it. Okay, and then I'm going to take this. Let me cut some of this off of here, and we're going to take the foil and we're going to place it right here, and we'll cut some of this off here like that. Okay, and like I said, that paper is going to be used as the backer paper. And this is how you make a sticker. Well, this is one way. Now, this is a trick you know I learned a long time ago from somebody, of course, on YouTube. And another little tip is that when you're handling the gold foil, make sure that you don't have any adhesive residue on your fingers, because that'll come off on the foil too. Okay, so let's put our die on here. Okay, I'm all fingers and thumbs here. Putting our die on here. We're going to take this to the Big Shot, and I'll be right back. We're going to use the shims again. I'm going to be using my shims, and I'm going to go through a couple of times back and forth Okay, so let's bring this back over here. Let's take our little trash can and get rid of all those little bits there. I'm going to take our little die brush here, and we'll try to get out all of these elements that don't belong. And if they're a little stubborn, just use your pick. And let's take this and remove this die cut here. There's another piece in here that's being a little stubborn, but that's okay. We'll take it out. Okay, and any pieces that haven't fallen out, just use your take your pick tool or any pick tool. And now you've got a sticker that you can use to decorate your box. Right there. Okay, now this is a sticker that I can put on the front of my box if I want, or the side or the back. I think I'm going to put it right here on the front of my box, kind of toward the middle. But I'm going to use my take your pick tool to help me center it on here. I'm going to come down a little bit. I want to make sure that it's straight. Okay. And there you go. Now I can do that on all four sides. Like I said, you can decorate any way you want to. And what I also did was I just made a bow out of the gold ribbon that we have. This is the shimmer ribbon in the gold. I'm just going to attach that with some glue dots. Let's take our bow and just grab the glue dot. I'm sure you got it. I'm just going to take a couple of glue dots and I'm going to put that on top like that. Okay, and you could also put a tag, you know, just decorate it real pretty and decorate it however you want. I just wanted to show you how I did that little insert. And aren't these cute? I hope that you like this. I hope that you will try this, and I hope that I have taught you something. All of the tools and supplies that I used in this video will be listed in the description down below, okay? Or you can go to my website also to order these tools and supplies that I use from Stampin' Up. So, once again, I'm Jeanette with G Amazing Paper Crafts, and you make it a great day. Bye-bye.